Hey y'all, thank you for clicking on my channel to listen to my voice. um, just a heads up if you're tracking at all to this, but I am considering changing my channel name to something else that I'm something else I'm working on to like connect it to. So anyways, right now is Self-Love Mystic. I think I'm changing that. I just haven't yet, but um, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do it until I done it. All right, so today is Sunday, February the 1st, and it is a full moon in Cancer. It's a full moon in Cancer, and it's a Sunday. One thing that's significant about today is it ended up being also my first day, technically, my first day. I'm calling it a personal sabbatical. That's what I'm gonna call it. Because I looked up sabbatical today. I never really knew the official definition of sabbatical. And I put in for a leave of absence from work for a month. And I was talking to somebody at work the other day, and they mentioned the word sabbatical. And I had already kind of started to think like, oh, I think this is like a sabbatical. So then I'm like, that's confirmation. So then today I look up the word sabbatical and I see that there's different types of sabbaticals, and it's like a formal way. There's a formal structure to it or whatever, but there's also like personal sabbatical, and it said a time of extended leave focused on like personal development and spiritual and all that stuff. So that's exactly what it is for. And I wanted to get on here and talk about my personal sabbatical as I'm going through it, and what I am, just kind of share the way that I do as I'm going through it. So I know I'll be titling my videos, or my uploads, and I think it's been my audacious destiny. I think I don't know how many that I call episodes of that. So this will be my personal sabbatical, episode 1. We're gonna do that, episode 1. And I just got intuitively inspired to call it. I think I have another video where I called this, or another recording where I called it, I used the 369 trio as a part of the title, I think, but it doesn't matter because it was a different series. So I'm going to use it for today, for this one. So anyways, I'm going to use 369 because it is something that I have realized is significant for this month that I'm taking off. And I didn't know this before I submitted for my leave. All I knew is that I needed time away from that place and from some people up in that place. And my whole body and spirit and mind and everything was like, go ahead. Because I started venting more often to other people at work, which, it can seem like it helps when you're doing it. But for me, with a professional eye and preference to my work, I wouldn't count it as something that's necessarily helpful, or like good for you in the long run. Not always. I feel like when it doesn't hurt you in the long run, you got lucky. you know. So that has been happening more often for me because, things just been building up. And also, what else been happening? I feel like I just saw like maybe a slight orb. Yeah, that's been happening a lot for me. And yeah, it's just I was being called to take time away. And so because I'm obsessed with numbers and the way they illustrate life, and because I'm very intuitive and spiritually led, I was intuitively and spiritually led today to sit down and look at the numbers for February in regards to myself. And what do you know? The numbers turn out to be 369. With the way that I apply numerology, and there is a special way that I'm doing that, and I'm not being moved to tell those details just right now, but it's clear as day. And it's just interesting as well that today is the first. And I say this is why, because last week was a snowstorm. So I missed most of the week from work. Friday, I finally made it to work. Okay. And I went Friday because I have things that I need to do to tie up before I start my leave, because there's stuff that I do that other people depend on and plans that had to get pushed back, and just, it was a mess. So I got in Friday, but even on Friday, I've never done this before. I forgot my work shoes. So when I got there is when I realized I didn't have my work shoes with me, because I had used these boots to walk to my car so that I wouldn't fall. And I had planned to bring my work shoes in a bag and had set them down. Forgot all about them until I parked at work. Had to go all the way back home because they're mandatory. So I made it back to work later than typical. And so it was a later start. So I had less time to work with in terms of the things that I needed to do. So even less time to work with, should I say. So then I was like, okay, well, I think I'm gonna just come in Saturday, Sunday to like catch up and do the things that I know I need to do and I want to do and get done before I start my leave. So this is all very funny because the 30th was also my 36th birthday. It was also my 36th birthday, okay? So that was funny, that just aligned, because if I didn't care, I wouldn't have went in. It wasn't just for money, because if I'm not clocked in, I don't get paid. I ain't salary, So, not yet. So, but it wasn't about that, because I don't live in a fearful state. Like, I'm taken care of, So I had things that got pushed back and out the way and just all messed up that I was in charge of for my my staff. So I was like, I'm going in. So I went in and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna work Saturday, Sunday then. So and then also I was planning to stay. Well, I did stay as late as I could on Friday, which was later than usual, but I also got there later than usual. So, well, I started work later than usual. What the hell? So now it gets funny because Saturday comes and I'm having the extremely hardest time getting out of bed to get to this place. And everything inside of me was like, I don't want to go, but the decision was made. I needed to complete my things that I needed to complete. But I didn't have to go in early. So I went in as late as I felt comfortable with going in. It's like 1 o'clock, by 1 o'clock p.m. And y'all, like, I wasn't feeling unwell. And I'm at work. And while at work, my stomach starts to mess with me very badly. I'm like feeling nauseous. I ain't pregnant. Feeling nauseous, like I want to vomit, like multiple times. I'm feeling like something trying to come up, and I'm at my cubicle, and I'm like, the fuck, you know? And it's just feeling like something's in there, or, you know, but I'm a very spiritual person, okay? So everything's spiritual in my eyes, and everything's for a reason, okay? So I'm realizing my body is crying out. Oh, on top of that, Friday, I had a headache. Okay, so this is at home before I get out into the, the weather and stuff. I'm fine. So a part of it could definitely be the weather because it was snowing, like I said, and I was in the house. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't driving nowhere. I ain't got no four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, truck, none of that. I'm at home, right? Safe and sound. So it could have partially also been the weather, but I'm spiritual, so I don't have to be affected by the weather. But if I am affected by anything that has the potential to affect me in a negative way, it's for a reason. There's a reason why Spirit let that affect me, is what I know now, okay? So I'm at work, I got a headache. That's Friday. I have a headache. But I'm, trying to get through what I can get through, and do what I can do. Saturday I go in, it's my stomach. So think about that, like head, stomach. Like considering your chakras, that's the crown chakra, and that's, I'm more so led to say the sacral chakra versus the solar plexus chakra. It's more of the sacral chakra because it was like my stomach. It was my stomach. So, yeah, so now there's chakra stuff going on. And it wasn't lost on me because also with the snow been freaking crazy, piling up, not melting. I know it ain't really gotten hot, but I mean, this snow is crazy. Like, I don't know. When I see the piles, I'm just unnerved. Like, I don't know if this is normal. I mean, I have experienced snow before, but something just feels off. It just feels off. Like, it just feels off. So, anyways, but even that would be for a reason, right? Even if it is off and not natural, it would be for a reason that it was allowed to happen. So a part of me is like, damn, like even while at home, before I made it to work, I'm like, Spirit that made it all just me. We supposed to shut down, or I'm supposed to shut down because some people were making it to work. And there were multiple times when I had went outside while I worked thinking, or I was playing around with my car, testing it out to see if I can make it out. And I'm witnessing other cars struggling in my parking lot area as they trying to maneuver around. And I'm like, what the hell I'm about to do, So it was like stuff telling me, like, girl, go back in the house. There's something spiritual going on, and your place to be right now is in the house, so, and usually I'm fine with that. The problem was I was about to start leave the following week, so this was my last week at work before I'm gone for a month, and it was a lot I was in charge of, and that I needed to do, and I need to, it was just, I'm like, oh, with the time, and Spirit's like, did I ask, right? So now, mind you, during this time of the snowstorm, I don't know the fact about February being my 369 month, a 369 month for me. I don't know this, okay? I do know my birthday. I know my birthday is a 369 birthday because I turned 36. So I've been looking into that, but Um, I wasn't yet up on game about February because it's basically occultic, right? And when I say occultic, I just mean stuff that's been hidden, bro. Like the way they have us tracking our days, our lives, day by day. It's like there's just so many lies, so much misinformation, so that you stay confused, so that you're not able to navigate yourself correctly through life. Imagine if you do not have a correct and accurate GPS system for the path that you're taking and you're traversing and you're assigned to. You get lost, bro. You get lost. Imagine the signs along your path, your road that you're driving. Imagine the signs, the literal signs, stop, go. Imagine they're out of place. They're misspelled. It's the wrong colors. They're missing. The street lights is not working. I hate when street lights go out and everybody gotta go in order while the yellow light is blinking. I hate that shit. I get so much anxiety because it's like somebody might not know what to do. People get frustrated and shit. I'm like, I'm depending on other people respecting laws and safety and right. So I hate when that happens. But imagine like the signs of being purposefully mislabeled, changed, and all of that. Imagine, your street light or traffic light is saying green when it should be saying red. High risk of accidents. More than likely, you're gonna get in an accident. You ain't making it to your destination. Which reminds me of my title of my auspicious destiny that I have been calling my previous recordings. Destiny is about its destination. Where are you going? Where are you headed? If you don't know, and let's take it up a notch, say you somebody like me and you're very self-sufficient. You prefer to be independent. You prefer to go your own way. Not even just prefer, it's almost like a calling. It's like you itch when you're not going your own way as you are made to do. And your signs and all that are wrong. Is somebody at my window? Okay. Your signs and everything are wrong. And I'm not having nobody hold my hand. I'm not following nobody. We ain't going step in step. We ain't in step to it. Ain't none of that. I have to know what my directions are, the accurate ones. So with that, I feel like all through my life, accuracy has been being revealed to me as I become ready for it. It's like the scales fall off my eyes, more and more scales. But, something just told me it's less about scales and more of just, it's a whole spiritual experience. It's like you went, you succeeded on that level. So now it's time for your next level. And now you get to see this. You thought that was that, and now you get to see what's really in Pandora's box, type shit. So anyways, something that's being recently revealed to me is just some deeper hidden truths regarding like how I track my yearly cycles, my calendar, all that, and looking at numbers over everything to understand what's going on in my reality at the time, that I'm looking at, at the time that I am in. So when I say Friday, I didn't know this information regarding February. Saturday, I think, is when it started to come through. But, or maybe it might have been, no. Actually, the whole 369 thing, oh yeah, that was today. Of February, that was definitely today, February 1st. I did not know this truth before February 1st. I understood February was going to be special for me, and I knew based on my astrological chart, like what energy would be dominating this month for me. And I knew, I felt that spiritually I was being directed to take a time out, rest, because spiritually there's work being done within me, around me, for me. Very transformative, almost like an operation, bro. So it's almost like I have to be walled off. I have to be in solitude. And I'm usually in solitude when I'm off from work. But that's when I'm off from work. But I go back to work, like I work through the week. So this is more like, no work. So what's just interesting to me is that Saturday I was at work, and before I got to work Saturday, I was saying, or before I left Friday, I was saying, I'm gonna work Saturday and Sunday. I was telling people that, like, I'll be here Sunday. And so Saturday, I get there, and like I said, my stomach, yes, the day before that, it was my head. Saturday is my stomach. Feeling like I want to vomit, So I'm not going to make it to Sunday. It dawns on me. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to be able to come in on Sunday. I'm not going to be able to finish everything that I have planned to finish before I leave on Saturday. Leave the building on Saturday night. So I did what I could, but I also did what I was called to do while I was there, which was some stuff that wasn't on my list. Talking to some people. There were some profound conversations that occurred with a few people that I haven't had such conversations with before. So that was interesting to me. And yeah, some said, you ain't making it because I don't know what the hell is wrong with my stomach. Okay, bro. So today I wake up and something that started to cross my mind was when I did my numbers and I realized, okay, there's the 369 energy for February for me. I didn't know that, but I'm glad I caught that. Because last year in March is when I started to learn and realize, well, maybe before March, I started to learn and realize the fact that 369 is significant in my life. And I instinctively first want to go, it's significant in life, period, which it is. But I don't think everybody, well, I know everybody don't carry the energy of 369 like within them, like within their energy, makeup, design, within their aura. And I've gone through some very interesting things throughout life since I was young, which has me often go, what is it about me? And sometimes then I also go, well, I'm not, it ain't unique. This kind of stuff does happen to other people. And it sure might happen to other people, but something, it do be different, bro. It did be different, spiritual synchronicity type stuff, right? So last year is when I started getting hip to the whole 369 thing. Not in a devilish kind of way. More of a, there's something about this numerical trio when we are looking at energy and time and money. Yeah. So things started happening to show me like I'm on point. Like last year, something significant happened on March 3rd, which I was counting as 3-3, because in the more popular way for us in America or the world, March is the third month. Even though in another way you can see it as the first month, because it is the month that introduces the first zodiac of the first zodiac sign of the zodiac cycle, which is Aries. Aries would be equal to number 1. So for me, I like to also equal March to number 1. Okay. So I'm calling it sacred numerology. But anyways, I remember like something special and crazy happened on March 3rd. Then something crazy and special happened on the 6th. So that would be March 6th. I had an old friend, I have to say in a nutshell, come for me in a way. This is somebody who, through viewing his life or what I know of it, I've had to admit that he knows some things. He's into some things. He pledged to a fraternity, you know. He does music. And I've just realized that a lot of people that have been around me that knows like occultic things that I never would think that they're into, and I never was really into myself or into even learning or thinking that they are into, because they cover it all up with religion. I'm not religious anymore. So anyways, yeah, I had that person. He came for me in a way, tried to do something with me spiritually. I got cued in on like a sexual ritual that for me wasn't the first time. And I realized it wasn't the first time he's done that, but he was trying to do it again and was so desperate, bro, that also bringing up the number 33 again, or number 3 again, I hadn't seen him for 3 years because I moved from home. And he's a flight attendant, so he travels sometimes, and will be in Little Rock sometimes, or where I live. I just put that out there. And so he hit me up when he's here, but it's like super duper last minute, and it ain't to do much beyond what I was thinking. Meet up and chat. Spend some time. If anything else occurs sexually, then it does. But at the very least, catch up, spend some time. In a nutshell, this boy literally just wanted to have sex. He made it very clear, not through his words, but through his very clear actions. And we did not, because I was already tracking to the way people do. Just the fact that people be out here doing shit ritualistically, and the fact that I feel like I have been victimized in that way multiple times by multiple people, including him in the past, without my knowing, of course. And there were some things I was confirming, like this wasn't just like, hey, I'm in town, da da da. Other things that I saw, like as I was leaving where he was, I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like this was, if he would have been successful, this probably would have been a really big deal on my soul, based on what I was seeing. The spirit was letting me see as I was going, back to my own place. Crazy. Literally, the scripture that says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. I don't take that lightly at all. So, what's funny? You want to know what's funny? Because I just thought about this, like the details of it. So that was in March. November, he hits me up again. Same shit. Again, he's not saying, hey, I want to do this and that. Da, 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 da. He's just, I'm in town. Come through see me. I'm going to be at this hotel. Da, 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 da. And then really trying to get me there. Both times it was followed up with calls at 2:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Before I wasn't really using that do not disturb button. But this time, this time my phone was on D&D, and I saw the missed calls in the morning, and I wasn't responding to nothing else before that because it was super duper last minute, and he confirmed that when I said, like, yeah, no, bro, I got work and all this stuff, like, no. Oh, yeah, it was last minute. Yeah. Hindsight is 2020. So anyways, but that was in November. November being what they tell us is the 11th month of the year. But if you look at it in the way of the zodiac cycle, it's the 9th month, or it possesses the 9th zodiac sign of the cycle, which is Scorpio. No, Sagittarius. Sorry. So yeah, even in the astrological zodiac wheel, the 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius. So I count November as equal to that energy and equal to the number 9. So you think about 9 in terms of November, him hitting me up. Think of March, when people are really approaching it as a 3rd month, but you also hit me up on the 6th or want to see me on the 6th. It was something about the 6th, March 6th. And then the year itself, 2025, was a 9 year. So folks was busy last year, okay? That's what I get. Folks was busy. Trying to make shit happen before that 9-year cycle ends. But I was awakening, continuing to awaken. Didn't even know the truth of the year for myself until this year. So crazy. But yeah, I was being came for. So I say this to say also, when it comes to me and my birthday, say, got a headache on my birthday while I'm at work on that Friday. Saturday, my stomach. Folks trying to aim shit in my direction, bro, because where is this coming from? Again, yes, the weather is a factor, but also it can't never be that simple. I don't take stuff for face value anymore. That's one level. What is another level? There's always levels to everything. So what that let me know, my sacral chakra, my crown chakra, somebody coming for my shit. Okay? So anyways, Saturday I'm at work and my body, everything, and I'm pretty sure it was spirit ultimately saying, you're not going to work on Sunday. Tomorrow is when you are starting this time off. They will be able to figure it out. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be figuring it out. They're going to figure it out. Okay. So then I wake up today and it's the 1st. Mind you, when I wake up, I'm not yet tracking to the whole 369 thing of February, but my stomach is still bothering me. So now I'm irritated for real. Because I'm like, I ate dinner when I came home. I slept in. Like, what the fuck, right? So then I'm like, there's something just really bothering me. I got a text from someone who lately has been trying to be a friend, I guess, or connect. At least that's what she's portraying. Unfortunately, I have had multiple back-to-back negative experiences regarding females trying to be my friend. And now this one, she might be trying to throw me off a little bit because she trans. But the energy and the conversations, the voice, everything. I'm getting female. She was born female, so whatever. I'm not even going there. So for me, so-called female friends and spirituality has not mixed. I ain't met no fellow female friend who spiritually is harmonized with me. Okay. But that's how we started off communicating. And I've just haven't been feeling intuitively that I should move forward with it. But she be reaching out, trying to text and all that stuff. And there's just some things I've peeped where I'm like, don't even think I want to get close to that for real. And it is spiritual related. So here I am having to really like put my intuition in charge. For whatever reason today, it was really bothering me. So I think it was because she texted me early in the morning and it's a Sunday. I'm not getting up for work. So then to me, it's like, I'm sorry, but that's interesting to me. Like, I'm on your mind this early in the morning, and it's just good morning. Like, I'm not feeling comfortable. Like, even you trying to get at me in that way, I'm not comfortable. And I'm not comfortable with you. Like, it's like you're pursuing me now. And so what happened is, and I just looked at my timer, it's 36. What happened is, I got to feeling like I need to just let her know. That's what happens with me sometimes. I just need to let you know. Because she was like, day one of your vacate. Like, it's not a vacation. Like, it's actually a spiritual situation. And I don't really feel comfortable with nobody tracking me like that. Even though you're trying to make it like casual conversation, I'm not feeling that because you text me before it was 10 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. And I mean, I don't know. I just felt like that was interesting. No, so it rubbed me the wrong way because I'm not interested in going in no romantic way. And yeah, so anyways, it just got real heavy on my chest and in my spirit. And something told me, like, you're going to have to let her know. Like, you're going to have to be honest. Because if you're just responding to stuff and you're not letting her know clearly where you are at, she's going to keep bothering you and you're going to be irritated because you don't like to straight up ignore nobody and just be disrespectful if they haven't deliberately, clearly disrespected you. So I, just had to let her know, like, hey, like, my past has been really not good when it comes to friendships, betrayal after betrayal. I prefer to trust people, but at this point, it ain't easy. So I'm not trusting this situation right now, and my time off is more of a spiritual thing, and I just need to be, like, offline, and she expressed understanding or whatever, but it's just my spirit so loud. And sometimes I irritate myself because I have the nerve to consider if I'm just being paranoid. It's like, bitch, if you don't know better by this point, and stop that shit. Like, for real. Like, because when I got the response, it was like in my spirit. Because, you have to understand what the actual true energy is that's coming despite what the folks are putting into words. Despite what words people are using. This is what I've learned. When I read your words or when I listen to you, I'm actually deciphering the energy. That's what I have to do because people lie all the damn time. So the energy I got, the real message I got was, I just heard in my head, she's on to me. Ain't that some shit? And so it was just interesting because I was thinking about a prior year, when I met someone, a female, who, by the way, also mentioned like something about people suspecting that she's gay and she's not. So that's interesting. But I had met her. It was before this time of the year, that year in 2023. But we didn't really like pick up speed until about this time of the year in 2023. So what's just funny, interesting about that is that year, me and that girl, the other girl, her name was Vanity. I don't care, I'm put it out there. This bitch thought she was about to come up in my life and raise hell upon me. So I was 33 years old, and I wasn't, I don't think, tracking closely enough to the fact that I myself am experiencing 33, my 33rd year. It was a tumultuous year. It was a year where my life was gunned for, literally, multiple times. And I was spared. I got bullet holes in my car to prove it. And my old place where I live, at least one bullet is still in the wall. I ain't lying. So this girl, though, before the bullets, that more so came around like the summertime. This girl that wanted to try to be my friend or act like my friend, like I said, I had met her actually in 2022. But then we started hanging out more towards the end of 22, and then it was like taking up a notch at the beginning of 2023. So around February, March, it was March. I got sick real bad, and it was shortly after I was hanging out with her and this guy that she introduced me to. And that's when I ended up having to take a leave off of work at that time at a different building I was at. And then I was led to eventually leave that job. But things had gotten so bad in terms of my physical and spiritual health and mental that I had to go to urgent care. I got super sick, and I was more out of control. I wasn't aware that I was being tracked like that. Like people was really sniffing out my energy like that. And then of course, if I'm giving you energy on top of you sniffing me out, you really just got they read my cards, they on to me type shit. And it was just revealed to me through spirit, like this girl was one of the issues, the major issues. Her name was Vanity, and she was pretending to be my friend, but she was like a she-devil, basically. And that shit really woke me up to like the spiritual workings around me and of people. And I kept meeting people who really into that shit, but in ways that are different from the way I'm into it. Not great ways, not good ways, not beneficial for other people type of ways. But I'm sitting here today and I realize, fuck, I was 33. And that was my personal year number 3. With the lies that's been taught, I counted that as a different year. What year did I think that was? Because I thought this was my personal 5-year this year. Wrong. So all this time, that means I would have thought that was my personal year 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 2. My personal year 2. Meaning I was having my mindset on relationship and coupling with others, working with others, when actually it was a year of personal creativity where, yet again, my sacral chakra, my womb was significant, and on top of that, I was 33 years old. I wasn't tracking to the magic in my energy that folks was coming for. So now I've just been awakened to how this year looks for me energetically to other people with spiritual eyes or with spiritual senses. So now I just started connecting with this girl who's trans at work, and it ain't sitting right on my spirit. And I'm just thinking, oh, betrayal wound. It's Spirit like, yeah, that's what we're gonna use. That's what we're gonna tell her. But hell no. This something else. This is, no. This is not a time to even try to figure out if you need to be trying to trust nobody right now. This ain't that time. What the fuck is a friend for at this point? What is a friend for? All these experiences have just taught you that it's a waste of fucking space that folks are taking up in your, like, that you're giving, that requires stuff of you to, like, no. What the fuck is a friend for? For in some type of way for you to be ended. That's the reason why the END in friend is there. For you to be ended. Fuck that shit. So that's what life has taught me. Might sound terrible to somebody else, but that's what my life has literally taught me. Okay, so with now, okay, so I was talking about how I was texting the girl that has been trying to be my friend now, and I let her know, and after I sent that, I felt better. I felt so much better. I promise in my spirit, I'm feeling like she was trying to attach a cord to me in some type of way. Because she's mentioned that she's done cord cutting and all this stuff. But I'm going to be honest. Like Jesus said, you going to know them by their fruits. I don't know all of her fruits. I don't know her life. But I picked up on enough that kind of let me know, like, I'm not sure that your fruits are revealing like a similar spiritual situation to mine. Like there's just some things where it's like kind of borderline disrespectful, so I will speak on those. But I'm just saying, like, it is okay. I'm telling myself this right now. It is okay to be skeptical because your energy is that fucking precious. And not precious in a soft way. I'm talking, your energy is that fucking valuable. It's that fucking expensive. That's what we're going to call it. It's expensive. You got shit that is expensive like your energy that nobody ever gets to touch. It's locked up in a glass case, in a vault type shit. Like stuff that nobody can get to because it's so valuable. Many people never even get to see in their lifetime. It's not just out there for everybody's access. And there's guards and shit blocking it. Don't care how friendly you come into the gate. Your ass ain't getting in. And I think that's what I know that's what I'm being moved to do with myself and my own energy. Like, so I did feel better, but I will say my stomach still it's like a little still achy. That's why I say it's levels to it. It could also include the weather, but, and then some, as far as the reasoning. So when it comes to this 369 thing for myself, I just heard in my head, it's like you've been marked, energetically. That's why I attract so many fucking spiritual devils, soulless mofos trying to get my soul by any means necessary type shit. It's like you've been marked. And you know what's crazy that I just found out as well? When I did the numbers in the more accurate occultic way, Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle make up 369. I ain't gonna go into details, but it's there. I figured it out. I said, oh, this is the proof. Yes, when you do numerology correctly, sacred numerology correctly, you realize that they make up a 369 trio in a way. Makes so much fucking sense. So, what I'm interested in doing is like filling out spiritually, intuitively. And I think that's what February might be for me, to fill out and get the information that I need that lets me know what is the 369. Like, what is it? Like, why it's so important. And I hear in my head, it's a portal. It's a portal. So let's say a person does not have 369 in their energy by themselves. So now they link up with two others who make it to where they do. That trio becomes like a portal. Now, a portal for what exactly? I don't exactly know. So it comes together in pieces. Because another part to it is Beyonce and Jay-Z. Beyonce and Jay-Z are both together, I'm going to say, they make up the energy of 33. And I picked up, bro, when I finally figured that out, I said, that makes so much fucking sense. She was in Destiny's Child and went from 369 and then was doing her thing there, but then turn around and link up with Jay-Z, and it's 33. So really, this is so funny. So really, could you say like 33 is the more powerful version of 369? Because it's like you create a portal again, but just with 2 instead of 3. So then think about if it's just one person. One person. What the fuck? Your life is going to be special, difficult, crazy, eventful, different, unique. Y'all, my sacred numerology lets me know I carry 33 all by myself. I carry 33 all by myself and 369. Like, the shit makes so much fucking sense when it comes to what my life has been when I realize those truths. It makes so much freaking sense. So, the fact that I just came into this information very shortly before my 36th birthday, and then even more so when it comes to what's going on right now, right when February hits, that lets me know February is going to be extra special for me regarding my spirituality, regarding my soul, my spirit, my mind, my money, my life, everything that just flowed through me. I feel like it's because even 3-6 equals up to 9. 9 is the number of culmination. I feel like it's a time for me of culmination of what I've gone through already. Last year was universal year 9. This year I have the 9 in my own personal energy, though it's not my life, my personal year 9, but it's my birth, my age equals up to 9, 3-6. And then my personal year. The lies will tell me that, oh, it's your personal year 5. No, it ain't. It's my personal year 6. Imagine that I didn't catch on yet again. I'm 36. Personal year 6. Imagine what I might be going through regarding work and shit, regarding friendships, linking up, having sex with people I ain't supposed to be having sex with, spending time with females I ain't supposed to be spending time with, letting people into my home and I ain't supposed to be doing that, trying to work through February and I ain't supposed to be doing that. If I ain't know, but I know, bro, I know now. In 2023, I ain't know what I know now. 2023 was when I've been spiritual all my life. 2023 is when I started to wake the fuck up. That's what I must say. Like, for real, wake up. Like, for real. 2023 is when I stopped smoking. Last year is when I stopped drinking. Well, really, 2023. 2024 was when I stopped drinking. Last year was my first year, 2025, going all the way to 2025 with no alcohol. So now we just gonna stick it that way, keep it that way. So now this year is a different goal, and it's my business until I achieve it. But we must know ourselves. Like, you gotta know what the fuck. Like, and I'm using profanity because that's when I'm feeling like shit's serious. When I tell you in 2023, I almost died multiple times because of how I was targeted and because I didn't realize and know better that I must treat my space and my energy, my sexual energy, my attention, everything. I had to do better, and I wasn't. Yeah, I stopped smoking, but I was still drinking. So me still drinking, I was still connecting with low vibrational others who were after me in different ways. I had my place where I was living shot the fuck up, multiple bullets through my walls. And I was told by a liar, by the way, that I trusted, that from what he saw, oh, it was somebody shooting at another car, a car parked in front of my place, like on the sidewalk. But when the police, the thing I had to think about was, well, damn, the police though, I don't remember them looking at no car in the front, like, you know, like really invested, because the police came, because there was a lot of fucking bullets. And so that person that told me that story, because he apparently had gotten to look at the camera of my neighbor who he knew, and that's what he had told me. And I tell you, I didn't even know. I had my headphones on. Bro, if I wasn't protected, I would have been shot. That wasn't the first time bullets had come through my place either, but that was the worst of it. That was the worst. And it was multiple. So it like shocked me when I turned on the light and saw my wall. I was like, it was several. The white sawdust all over my carpet. What else? My car multiple times got bullets put through it, and yet protected for the sake of me and what I needed. And I say that because my windows were never shattered. My windows were never hit. Bullets, almost bullets hitting and on different occasions too, hitting the body of the car that's in between the roof and the window multiple times on different occasions, bro. As if somebody's aiming for my window and missed. But see, here's the thing. One time the bullets happened, it was two people that was killed in the street right in front of my place, and my car was hit. But another time, yeah, so it always, the story was always that it was, somebody else was the target, except for that time where all those bullets came through my car. Came through my wall. That to me was different, because even the police was like, do you know anybody who would be targeting you? Because as many bullets as they had seen, it didn't make no sense, And my neighbor, he said he had like 12 bullets through his, but it still was like off. And even if so, it still was like, again, everything got layers. There's still a spiritual reason to this. I had a dream that wasn't a dream, bro. where I was being attacked by a spirit, by a body that I couldn't see, but I felt. And it was basically my first and only time so far of experiencing paral- sleep paralysis. Is that how you say it? Paralysis? Damn, I never even said that word out loud. How the fuck do you say it? Sleep paralysis. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. Basically, where I awake consciously, but I can't move. But for me, it was spiritual as well, because in my dream I was attacked. So that then I felt it physically, though. Like, so the spirit ended up on me, and now physically I can't move my legs or nothing. And in my mind, it's due to somebody being on top of me. Okay. And I had to dig for the strength inside of myself to say, get off me. Get off me. Right? So, but that dream was attached to, and it was, again, not a dream, but like I was asleep. So that experience was attached to another part that I had, or as in the dream or whatever, where basically multiple hands of multiple guys coming for my neck, trying to choke me in my dream. But so fucking strong that I felt that shit. Okay, so it was like I was being attacked, and it was faces that I knew. Faces that I knew. And I remember what happened was, I was awakened from that dream by a text from somebody that I was close to at the time, was feeling love for at the time, having sex with sometimes at the time. And also, so he had texted me, woke me up out that dream where they was coming for my neck. And then, no. So what happened is, first it was the one where the body ended up on me, the spiritual body ended up on me. And I had to like kind of wake up and say, get off me. And then I freed myself of that, whatever it was, got up off me. So I had kind of awakened. That's why I say it was paralysis. That's what it is, because now it came through the right way. It was sleep paralysis. But as soon as I achieved that in terms of getting the spirit up off me, I fell right back to sleep. And then that's when it was the hands coming from my neck trying to choke me. And again, it felt real. And then I was awakened out of that from a text that I had gotten from a guy who I was kind of suspecting was doing stuff to me. And then I got kind of clarification later. Just crazy shit. That was that year. That was 2023. If not the beginning of 2024. If it was the beginning of 2024, it was related to my struggles in 2023. Yeah. So, and one of my priorities in life was still trying to find somebody that I could love and they love me back. So after that person, there was one more that I went through that kind of shit with. And now that's no longer my priority. Because all that's out here in this world for me with somebody with my energy, makeup, and dynamic is spiritual warfare. These ain't nothing else, I feel, at this point, walking this earth that can link up with me harmoniously, some of them, in harmony. Okay. Yeah, it ain't happening. Because what I realized, and this goes back to an ex of mine that used to say this thing to me about me that I never knew, like he wouldn't ever describe or explain what he meant, to where I could understand it. I didn't understand it, but also I didn't really want to understand. I didn't really care because all I wanted was love. I just wanted to love him. I just wanted him to love me. But I remember he said multiple times to me, like, but in a way where he wasn't trying to tell me all of it or how he knows this or what information he came into that lets him know that this is true, which was, you got all the power. You got all the power. And he wasn't talking in just a way of, oh, because you a woman. Because he also was the first person, the only person really, who has ever told me that I'm an oracle. I didn't know what that was. The only other time I had heard that word was when I watched The Matrix. But this was also a guy who had done evil, selfish, spiritual work on me for his benefit. So, but yeah, he used to say, you got all the power. You got all the power. And I never understood that shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, what are you looking at? What truth do you know you ain't sharing with me? And I know he had joined the group because he had told me some things that he probably wasn't supposed to tell me, but I wasn't thinking it had anything to do with me. So now I get it. I get why I'm solo. I get why I'm by myself. I get why relationships don't work for me. It ain't even really the nigga's fault. I attract bad niggas that I don't want to keep around, and even good ones that I didn't want to keep around, because I'm literally whole within myself. When I tell you, Beyonce, Destiny's Child, 369, but then Beyonce and Jay-Z, 33. The numbers are there. They told me, and these are just people who understand how it go. It ain't even an ego situation. It's, I want to be successful. I want to have kids. I want to make money. I want to be able to feed my kids. I want security for my kids. I literally listened to a video the other day that was talking about life paths, and I finally listened to the one that is actually for my truth. And the dude ended the video with, and it hit, first of all, in the video, he said, this life path, typically, they're going to be, he said, 95% of them, they lost their parents at an early age, or they were adopted. I was adopted. And from what I know, my biological father, someone told me he's dead. I never met him. And my biological mother went to prison when I was little. And I was adopted through the system. So he said that. And then at the end, he goes, and I just want to let you know, like, you may not have your own family, but I'm your family, or something like that. You have a family here. And I said, bro, and I got chills right now when I just said that, because I was like, bro, that is so fucking deep and real for me. Because I don't keep family. I don't maintain family. I'm not having my own family or having kids. And I was like, I wasn't getting this type of information and validation when I was listening to other information based on lies told to me in terms of how to calculate your life path. This is how you find lies. They're lying. They're lying, they're lying, they're lying. And this is why I'm about to end this audio, because I'm over an hour. And I will be continuing this. I have a plan in mind. And something that came to me was, don't say it, just do it. So I'm going to just do it. So this is my personal sabbatical, episode 1. 369, or should I call it 369, or should I just say episode 1? I don't know. You'll see what it is when you'll see the title. Thank you for listening. Until next time. Bye.